I mean,
Well, Chester, we're back in Laredo, and this is the video you talked about where Tio Ernesto made this video with you recording it, and he gave us a tour of the old city, of the old Azteca barrio.
yes, and it was my idea to start with because I knew that I've been in the family quite some time already, and now it's been like almost 30 years. And seeing this, it brings back wonderful memories of Dad. Like we all sat down and watched it last night with Elda's mom, and she's over there crying. They both were crying, like, "Oh, Dad!" And well, he was very excited to do the video himself. So he's walking around in the neighborhood where where he grew up, and he had been there since then, walking around, and so I think you're really going to enjoy the video. It's most excellent, and it was really windy, so enjoy the sound effects. And I didn't know that I should put a piece of foam over the audio, the microphone, but now I know. So there you go.
Beautiful. Thank you for preserving this. And as I told Maggie, this will be digitized. I'm going to return the original to both of you, or the three of you, and all of the Solis cousins will be able to see what he wanted future generations to see.
Yes. Now, there's one thing you got to pay attention to what he says, okay? In the beginning and then towards the end, he goes back to this backyard area where they actually had their first home that he grew up in. Behind the home, the second home that he stayed in, okay? So first one was behind it, and he claims it was an adobe home. Whatever that is, you guys should know.
Ah.
So they all stayed in this adobe home in the back of this house. And then towards the end, he's like, well, I don't know if it was this particular house has been remodeled that we all stayed in the second home, or if it was in the lot next door
Okay.
that had a house in it, and they had the adobe home in behind it. So, but you'll be able to decipher. You can listen to it again, and so there you go.
Outstanding. In fact, Maggie and I are gonna be heading over there to the Azteca barrio in about 20 minutes, and I met a young man, Juan Maldonado, who lives catty corner San Pablo, and my goal this morning is to see if they can open up that house for us.
Excellent.
And that would be a fantastic. So what you're giving us is a wonderful piece of history from the exterior, and if we can get inside this morning, we'll see what happens.
Right. Well, like I said, he didn't know for sure if that was the actual house that's just been remodeled since he lived in it, or if it was next door to this empty lot. Maybe that's where the house was, and they had taken it down. And so you'll decide for yourself, see what he says. And,
Beautiful.
There you go.
Well, thank you so much for this. I was telling my mom that when I arrived here in Laredo, it was amazing how much of the family history you knew, and like just knocking out story after story of story. She was like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely," because 30 years of history.
Yep. Well, another little story, real quick.
Yes. No, take your time.
Dad's dad, okay, her grandfather, that we're going to show you the house where they all lived in. When he had passed away, they were watching a baseball game, and I don't remember what baseball game it was, but it's a professional baseball game like we all see. And then a few months later, Dad was sleeping, and he said his father came to him in his dream and asked him, "Hey son, who won the game?"
Oh my God.
Because he was really an avid baseball watcher.
Incredible.
So yeah, it's another story I thought of, and I was wow, it's kind of cool.
That's a great one because my oldest daughter, Melanie, who's in Seattle as a married woman, she's been having dreams about my father and so forth. So I wonder if the Solises come back in mystical ways.
It could happen. I mean, who am I to say nah or yay? I know that Dad has a lot of stories like that about people that passed away, and he talks to them, and not necessarily like on the bed, talking to him how it's going, but in his own way, he's like, yeah, I saw them, came to me back in a dream, and they asked me this, and this, and it was awesome.
I have to tell you two wild stories. So after I returned, I wrote Cindy Alejos, my cousin, and she works at A&M in the research department. So she's been kind of consulting. I've been consulting with her about this. So she sent me a genealogy outline of the paternal side, the maternal side. So I did some research, and our paternal grandmother was born in Candela, Mexico. So I found a journalist in Candela, Mexico, or Coahuila, and so I asked him to come up with a proposal to make 10 videos showing Candela, Mexico, and maybe finding cousins of ours, San Martin, because she was a San Martin. So he said, I've already spoken to the tourism department, and they love this idea. They're going to take the documents you sent me and do some research. So I'm still waiting on a quote from him. So since the last time we saw each other, I already have a journalist who's contacted a federal government agency in Candela, Mexico, where our grandmother was born.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's super.
And if that wasn't good enough, I was telling Maggie earlier today, because we were making videos in the car, that I was at a post office and I'm leaving, and for some reason, I think I was mailing something to you or to someone else in connection to this project. I see this big white truck go outside, and it says Coahuila on the license plate. I'm like, wait, how is it that this guy has a Coahuila license plate? So I go inside, I ask him, is that your truck? He's like, why are you asking? And I said, I'm working on this research project. To make a long story short, he knows somebody from Candela who's been there from the early days. I got his WhatsApp phone number, and he says, I know a historian. So now I'm into Mexico now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. And ironically, I didn't know this, but my father always wanted to go to Candela, Mexico, but he never went. So
That's always somebody's dream, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. Remember that.
Yeah. So my goal is to have him maybe find the original house where she was born, because this is all, Candela was founded by the Spanish in 1690, right?
Wow.
So these original families, you're talking about 15 to 20 original families that were there. And that San Miguel family was obviously there. So the question is, where did she live? Who are we related to? And now Maggie and her sister, as a result of her mother being a Mexican citizen, they have Mexican citizenship. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be wild if we could determine if we had either Spanish ancestors? We definitely have Mexican ancestors because of our maternal grandmother, and theoretically we could apply for Mexican citizenship, which is something I don't know if I'll ever do, but it's a possibility now.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Well, Elda and I, we hang out with the San Miguel's down here. And there's a big, huge family. And we've basically hung out with them more than the Solises. Because they're more receptive and everything. They're happy. And they're not all super rich. And so we've been to their ranches. We've been to their homes. We've been to their process when they got elected to city officials. And it's been awesome. They're a loving family. So in the immediate future, I'll give you some telephone numbers.
Beautiful. Now help me decipher, would this be the San Miguels that are connected to Sofia San Miguel, the first? Because our maternal grandmother, she had Sofia San Miguel, and her first husband was murdered. He was a border guy. And so are you referring to those San Miguels, or are you referring to the San Miguels that are from Candela connected to my grandmother?
I don't know.
Okay.
But you'll find out when you talk to them.
Okay, perfect.
They know. I know they've done a genealogy, whole 9 yards.
I know that Mr. San Miguel Leonel San Miguel is cousin to Dan.
Okay.
So
Beautiful.
that means that he's related to our grandmother.
Exactly.
So
Okay, so there's the
There you
link.
go.
See, here's another moment. This is another little highway detour that I hadn't even contemplated, the San Miguels of Laredo.
Right.
And if Tio Neto said, oh, he's my cousin, then you have another extension there.
Yeah, he was awesome. I loved them all better than my own family, which I grew up with a great family. But they were just so peaceful and wonderful.
to all
Every one
his
of them.
parties, we would get invited. when he was there.
Hi, Tia Carmen. How are you? I brought a special guest, my daughter. How are you? Great to see you again.
Fine.
Great to
How are you,
see
Jen?
you, Tia.
Good to see you.
Good. This is Margarita Elena Solis, Tia Carmen Solis.
Great to meet you.
Yeah, so we're going to Laredo for the county fair. Yeah, my mom wanted to go and be with familia, so and I thought, well, this is a perfect time for us to swing by, and and I'm so excited that Chester was able to secure the video for us, and yeah, and make this all happen, and I brought Maggie with me, so she's my little co-partner, co-pilot. So Chester told me that that all three of you watched the video last night, and it was kind of sentimental for you.
Oh, yes. Beautiful.
How exciting that the two of you had the idea to preserve this history, and here we are in 2025, 20 years later.
25 years later.
25?
2000
Wow.
when the video was made. You.
And how exciting to have his voice, because this meant a lot to him, wanting future generations, DJ, all of us to know this is where it started.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I've got another video. Excuse me.
Mhm.
I'm still looking for it. I'm pretty sure I can find it here in a few minutes. It's where her son, Daniel D. Jr., got married
oh great.
to a Yesenia Martinez in Eagle Pass. And all of us went to Eagle Pass and lots of people in the family went to, and had a great time. And during the reception, after the wedding, I had my video camera, and I videotaped everybody that was sitting down and attending the reception, and as well as your father and mom. I caught them right when they were getting up to leave.
Oh.
I'm like, hey, hold up, and they were sat back down. It was cool.
Wonderful.
Yep. So I interviewed them. They said a few things, wonderful things for DJ, and all the rest of the Tahitians and elders' relatives, mom's relatives on her side, and most of Dad's brothers, sisters were there, I think, and so I think that would be another awesome video for you in your search for family heritage.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I was telling Elda and Chester a few moments ago that Cindy Alejo sent me the family tree for our grandmother Aurora Solis, San Miguel Solis, and in a nutshell, in Coahuila, Mexico, I found a journalist who's going to be researching her history in Candela, Mexico. My father always wanted to go to Candela, Mexico, and he is in contact with the tourism department, so hopefully we can find her original address and any San Miguel cousins. But the question I have for you is, a few moments ago we were talking about the San Migueles of Laredo, and Tio Neto had said they're primos. Do you have any memories of that as far as the San Migueles and our relatives from?
No, because I never got involved in it because I didn't know him.
Okay.
So I didn't know their names or where they live or anything because we didn't know each other. He was in high school and I was in Christian. We didn't meet each other.
Okay. Perfect. So yeah, so this is the last time I saw you. The research is now in Mexico now, and I found another person from Coahuila. So it'll be interesting to see how that brings new information. Maybe new primos in Mexico. Who knows?
Because I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited about this tape, and again, I'm going to digitize it and get you the original. And if the other one comes about, I think my mom would be thrilled
Yes, I'm sure.
with that one. So, well, so thank you for letting us stop by and say hi again and film. And we're going to be heading to Laredo. We're going to be with the cows over there.
Oh, yeah. You're gonna stay the night in Zapata, or?
That's right. We're going to spend the night, in Zapata. I don't think Maggie's ever been to Zapata, so this will be her first trip over there. And
Awesome.
yeah,
But your grandparents, they sold all the properties, right?
pretty much, yes.
Del Villarreal.
Yes, exactly. And Maggie was so happy because we visited the first ever Taco Palenque. They have a plaque there, and we have them in San Antonio now. And she says, so she posed next to the first Palenque.
I love Taco Palenque. So to go there, I was like, oh my god, look, it's the first one. Yeah. So we took a picture.
So everything's about history, studying the history of Taco Palenque here in Laredo, capturing it.
Laredo.
Yeah. So, well, once again, thank you for letting us swing by and preserve more history. So I'll end it, and we'll chat later.